What if the Earth stopped spinning for just? Imagine this: you wake up one morning, the sun is rising as usual, the air feels normal, and suddenly, without warning, the entire Earth stops spinning. Not for hours. Not for minutes. But for just 5 short seconds. It sounds like nothing, right? 5 seconds isn't even enough time to tie your shoes. But in those 5 seconds, the forces that govern our planet, the rotation, the atmosphere, the oceans, and even the ground beneath your feet would turn against us. This thought experiment has fascinated scientists and dreamers alike, because while it seems like a harmless pause, the consequences would be so catastrophic that humanity might never recover. So today, let us dive deep step by step into what would happen to our world if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning for just 5 seconds, and then started again. Part 1. Understanding Earth's rotation. Before we can imagine the chaos, we need to understand what Earth's rotation really means. The Earth rotates once every 24 hours. At the equator, this means we are moving at about 1,670 kilometers per hour, that's more than 1,000 miles per hour. At mid-latitudes like Europe or the US, it's around 1,200 kilometers h. Near the poles, it's almost zero. We don't feel this speed because everything around us, the air, the oceans, the buildings, the ground, all spin with the Earth. It's like being on a smooth airplane ride. You're moving incredibly fast, but you don't notice unless something changes. Now imagine that motion stopping instantly. Part 2. The sudden stop. If the Earth stopped for just 5 seconds, everything not firmly anchored to solid rock would keep moving at the same speed the Earth was spinning before the stop. In other words, you, your house, your car, the oceans, the air, the animals, the trees, everything would fly eastward at over 1,000 miles per hour. The Earth would essentially turn into a massive braking system, while the atmosphere and everything loose on its surface would continue moving. It would feel like a global car crash, except the car is the size of a planet. Part 3. The atmosphere goes wild. The first disaster would come from the air. The atmosphere would continue its eastward motion at over 1,600 kilometers h. This would instantly create supersonic winds across the entire globe. Entire cities would be leveled in seconds, as if struck by the world's largest hurricane. Imagine skyscrapers ripped apart, forests flattened, and everything that isn't deeply rooted torn away. For humans, the sudden air displacement alone would be unsurvivable. Part 4. The oceans on the move. The second catastrophe: water. The oceans would behave just like the atmosphere, rushing eastward at incredible speeds. Coastlines everywhere would be obliterated by walls of water taller than skyscrapers. In just 5 seconds, entire continents would be reshaped by tsunamis hundreds of meters high. Places like New York, Tokyo, Karachi, London, and Sydney would vanish instantly. Even inland areas would not be safe, as rivers and lakes would surge out of their basins, drowning entire regions. Part 5. The ground beneath our feet. Now let us look at the land itself. The Earth's crust is solid, but it's not immune to sudden changes in motion. When the planet stops, tectonic plates would experience massive strain. This could trigger earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and even cause entire mountain range